Oh man, this is an emergency video because Bitcoin is forming a critical pattern and could be breaking imminently. We are about an hour away from the PCE inflation reading. I wanted to get this out to you guys as quickly as possible before the reading comes out because we're getting a bounce right now, and by the time the PCE reading comes out, we could be well on our way towards that 40,000 level. Now, I'm going to break down what to expect. It's not guaranteed that we're going to break out, but something important has just happened which I need to share with you guys. Smash the likes. Do not forget to subscribe, guys. If you wanted to actively trade with us, we aren't just watching this market, we're actively trading this market, and many of our community members are doing amazing stuffs with their trade. Check us out. Ijaz.uk/TG is a free Telegram group where you're going to get extra alpha, so make sure you're in there. Now, what have we noticed here? We've had a couple of fake outs here already on this ascending triangle pattern. Remember, an ascending triangle pattern, which I've been speaking about for a number of days now, normally breaks to the upside, but can break to the downside. Now, fortunately for us, you can see we've got a steep incline going into this triangle here. We're spending more time trying to fake out to the upside than we are to the downside, so the bias is leading to the upside. So we need to watch out for this breakup because it can move quite quickly. Now, if you look at the previous time we had our fake out, this was a fake out and we got thrown straight back into the pattern here to the downside. But when we got thrown back in, we lost the 4-hourly EMA ribbon. We had to work hard again to bounce, reclaim the 4 EMA ribbon, try to break out again, and we got faked out again yesterday, coming back into the pattern. Now we need to watch very, very carefully. Are we going to get a bounce, right? You can see that last 4-hourly candle, which prompted me to make this video, bounce nicely here from the EMA ribbon. You can see the bears tried to push us. Look at that wick there. See that wick on that candle? That's the bears trying to push us all the way down to lose our EMA ribbon. But the bulls stepped in. The bulls stepped in around 37.6k and we started to see a bounce. Now I want to see, do we get another green candle here on this 4-hourly candle? And guess what? That coincides with some critical PCE inflation data. Now you have to remember, the PCE inflation data is the Fed's preferred measure of inflation. It's what Jerome Powell uses and will use to make his decision in 13 or so days at the next FOMC meeting on the 13th of December of whether he's going to pause or rate hike. Now, the market are so firmly, 99.7%, so firmly focused that we're going to get a pause that they're not even thinking that we could get a rate hike, right? They're not even thinking about it. Now, yesterday, we had GDP revised to the upside. In yesterday's video, I explained why that could be a little bit of a worry. Because remember, if the economy is overheating, we could be staying higher for longer. But what is it going to take for us to get a shock rate hike on December the 13th? PCE inflation would have to come in bad, right? You can see it sat in at 3.4% last month. Market is expecting this to come in at 3, so quite a big jump here to come down all the way to 3 on the year-over-year figure. So we will be watching for that when that data comes in the next hour. I will be posting the results in Telegram, so make sure you're in our Telegram, Ijaz.uk/TG. That's where I post data in between videos. You get a video every single day. I'm always posting here to give you guys updates, but in between then, if you're trading, if new macroeconomic data comes out, which is moving the market, it's all happening in our Telegram group, so make sure you're in there to get the up-to-date information. So after watching that, we need to see what happens here in the market, because right now this market is quite frothy. 74% on the fear and greed index. We're firmly in greed, right? We are in greed. I mean, if another indicator for you to look at is here, the world's largest Bitcoin futures ETF breaks 2021 record highs for assets under management. So the ProShares BITO, which is a Bitcoin futures now ETF, now has $1.47 billion in holdings as a flurry of Bitcoin ETF applications in the US seemingly spurs institutional interest in the asset. Okay, so we're starting to see not just FOMO from retail, but FOMO from traditional, institutional players as well. So watching this very carefully. Can we get a bounce? Can we get a bounce and break through here, break past these peaks? You can see this is exactly where we got rejected here. 38.45 is where we got rejected here and here. So for me to completely buy into this breakout, not only do we need to bounce from this EMA ribbon, but I need to see us work past that level, even if we come back down for a retest thereafter, no problem whatsoever. And then on we go up to our price point of 40k. And if we can break this tough resistance at that 38 to 38.5 level, I'm fully expecting 40k to come into play before the turn of the new year. And in fact, I'd even say all the way up to the next support, 45k is still in play this side of 2024. It's also very, very important that we keep an eye here on the dollar index. Now, it's doing something which is okay for now, but it very quickly could change the trend. So here on the 4-hourly chart, I'm monitoring this. You can see a big move to the downside, consolidates into the EMA ribbon, rejected. Consolidates into the EMA ribbon, rejected. Now consolidating into the EMA ribbon. This alone is not bad. It's not like it's changing the trend now, but if it regains its EMA ribbon, that's going to be a problem for Bitcoin here. If the dollar index starts to move to the upside, that's showing that risk is rotating off again. We need to keep risk rotating on, so we need to see this next leg down here for the dollar index. That's going to give Bitcoin the green light to continue doing what it needs to do. Let's take a look here at total market cap of crypto, now sitting at 1.39 trillion. To put this into perspective, over the last 11 weeks, okay, just 11 weeks here on Bitcoin, 3 months, right? We have seen $416 billion worth flow into this market. And this should remind you how quick things change here on crypto. Once the narrative shifts, money starts to flow in. And when money starts to flow in, that's when, of course, all these coins start to catch a pump and start moving here to the upside. So you guys need to ask yourself, are you in this market or are you out? Just by delaying 11 weeks here, you've missed out on a huge amount of movement here to the upside. Bitcoin already sitting here knocking on the door of 38,000, and very shortly you may struggle to get Bitcoin for less than $40,000. To think, just months and months ago, you were getting Bitcoin at 15,500. $20,000, $25,000 very comfortably, and now you're looking at close to $40,000 per Bitcoin. In terms of altcoins seem to be waiting for a little bit more direction. Of course, they need Bitcoin to go on its next leg before altcoins get permission to start moving again as well. So Bitcoin's just currently at this traffic light, which we know about, which we just covered off at that 38,000 level. But once it can clear this triangle and decide that it wants to go on its next leg up towards 40, up towards 45, do expect altcoins to start moving thereafter as well. So currently we're seeing pretty flat here on altcoins. Phantom flat on the day, Solana up 2.5%, Matic 2.5%. Nothing crazy to write home about here in the altcoin market. They kind of had their run. Now they're waiting for Bitcoin to say, yep, we're ready for our next run before we start to move again. Lots to play for here in the market. Where are you guys in the market? Are you locked and loaded? Are you trading? If you do want to trade with us, make sure you jump into Telegram. Ijaz.uk/TG is where we're doing that. I'm going to be traveling for the next few days, so I'll try to give you guys updates as and when I'm moving as well, like I always do. If you appreciate that, you've got to support the channel. Hit subscribe, make sure you're sharing the content, make sure you're in our Telegram community as well to be part of this tight community so we can trade and navigate this market together. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Smash up the likes, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.